Today we're going to be talking about why I think a lever gun is the best farm rifle you can have while doing work out on your homestead. How's it going, guys, and welcome to another episode of Coffee Talk. My name is Chad and this is the Hopeful Homestead. And in this series of videos, I like to sit out here in my little campsite or in my little tiny cabin on wheels and talk to you guys from our 21-acre homestead here that we're calling the Hopeful Homestead. My wife and I plan to build our forever home here, a farmhouse, and we're going to be building a barn and a whole setup that I need to be defending with firearms. We plan to have all kinds of animals, all kinds of crops, and we need to be protecting those things from the animals that wander onto our property from the 22,000-acre wildlife preserve that we back up to. And so for me, out here doing work, like I said, I built this campsite myself, this cabin. I built this mile-long ranch fence that's behind me here, and I've carried firearms with me while doing all that. And I went through a few iterations of different types of guns, and ultimately I settled on what seemed to be some stereotypical guns, but you know, maybe they're stereotypical for a reason. As I mentioned in my previous video, I talked about why I carry a 45 Colt single action army revolver on my hip out here while I'm doing work. And I'm here today making a case for the lever gun as the rifle of choice while out here doing work as well, because I believe truly in having a tandem of firearms with me while I'm out here doing stuff on the property. If I have time, if I see a threat from afar, I'll reach for my rifle first, for my lever gun, and be able to take aim and take care of the threat from afar. And I have my revolver on my hip for those last minute situations where something jumps up on me and I don't have time to grab the rifle. I've got the revolver there as well. But being that they are a tandem, they are a pairing, they share the same ammunition. And that's one of the reasons I love lever guns, is that they can be chambered in the same ammunition as your sidearm, as a revolver. I can carry big bore 45 Colt in both guns. I can, especially in my lever gun, those things can handle heavy load 45 Colt that the revolvers can't handle. The single action army revolvers only handle the cowboy action loads, but the higher pressure, heavy load 45 Colt ammo that you can get out there or you can hand load yourself, those can be fired in the rifles. You know, I've got Rossies, I used to have a Henry. Those kind of rifles can handle the heavy ammunition, which is great for hunting and great for being able to have versatility in the same firearms and same ammunition that being shared between the guns. You know, in the rifle itself, I'm able to deploy heavier load ammunition for certain applications. And so without any further ado, let me show you the rifle that I carry with me all the time. As I mentioned in my last video, this is the 45 Colt single action army revolver I carry. It's incredibly accurate, incredibly trustworthy. I would carry this on me on my hip for decades to come. And the lever gun that I choose to carry with me is this right here. And yes, it is technically not a rifle. This is a Heritage Manufacturing Rossi made ranch hand 92. It is a mare's leg, meaning that it doesn't have a full-size stock on it and it only has a 12-inch barrel. So I could technically put a full-size stock on this, which I might still do here after the first of the year when the laws change, and make this a short barrel rifle, because that would be incredibly awesome to have. We got a 12-inch barrel. You know, being able to shoulder this and have it be tucked in tight would be incredibly handy as a farm tool, as a farm rifle. But for right now, I still like the handiness of the mare's leg in that it is pretty compact. I can, you know, lug this thing around, throw it in a side-by-side with me as I'm riding around on the property, and I can carry it with me and keep it in my lap real easily. I can, you know, it's just a handy gun that deploys in the same manner as my full-size rifles that I have. I do have a 20-inch Rossi R92 in stainless that I love as well, but that's bigger and, you know, a little bit more unwieldy to carry with me out here. And I like to be able to, and this also has a saddle ring here that you can hook a single point sling to if you wanted. So I could technically sling this up, have a single point sling hanging this down below my chest if I felt like the threat was elevated. If I saw some threats showing up on my trail cameras out here more regularly, I might keep this on my person and not just near me. But typically I carry this thing near me. It's always resting up against something or sitting in the seat next to me on the side-by-side or propped up against the fence when I'm building fencing. I keep this thing near me to be able to have the ability to shoot more accurately, because yes, while I am accurate with my revolver and I do love that, if I have the choice to be able to grab this first, this sight radius between these two sights is a lot greater than the revolver. And so I can put more rounds accurately on target with this than I would be with my pistol. And I can obviously deploy this with this big loop. I can wear gloves and fire this easily. I wouldn't be able to necessarily get my hands into my revolver as easily with gloves on, whereas this thing, I can rack that lever and run this thing pretty quickly. And that's another big point of a lever gun, is that it is fast to fire. You can, with practice, get to the point where this will be almost just as fast to fire accurate rounds on target as a semi-auto rifle. Yes, you can pull the trigger on a semi-auto rifle faster than you can, rack the lever and shoot with this. But in reality, with the recoil management and the, reacquiring your sight picture and having proper form to be able to actually put multiple rounds on target the way you're intending to, with practice, you can get this to be running pretty quick and almost as quick as you could with a semi-auto rifle, which is a huge advantage of a lever gun. And yes, you could technically just have an AR-15 out here with you, a regular old rifle. But for me, as I've mentioned in other videos, I just gravitate to wood and steel, and it speaks to me more. I know that this thing can be with me for decades to come, and its simplicity of design and reliability and heavy-duty build quality and high-quality build quality means that this same gun can be with me for decades to come. Whereas some cheaper-made, plasticky polymer gun, rifle that has plastic sights, and it's just not going to be as reliable out here doing work as something like this is. This can get dropped around and bumped, and the sights are not getting knocked out of alignment, and this trigger is always going to work. This lever works flawlessly, and this type of gun doesn't require very much maintenance. And for me, I like knowing that I can just buy a gun and have it be with me, the same firearm, for years and years and years to come, and I don't have to worry about having to swap it out for something new after I've worn the thing out. And for me, wood and steel just seems more natural to fit that bill. And yes, I have other things in my home. I have a Ruger Mini 14 with several 30-round mags, chambered in .223. I've got other things to be a true home invasion defense firearm. So have guns for different purposes. But for me, when I'm out doing work on the property, a good old lever gun just fits the bill and pairs extremely well with a revolver, sharing the same ammunition and just simplifying the actual practicality of carrying guns with you while you're out here doing work. I'm not carrying guns for fun out here and to be able to just have the coolest, most modern firearm out with me. I'm carrying guns that I know will work and are reliable and are trusty. I can throw them around, bang them around, and I don't have to worry about anything messing up with them. I don't have to check up on them. I don't have to make sure I'm swapping out batteries for different types of optics. I'm not having to clean them as regularly because they're just a simple design that doesn't require it. And it's just nice to know that they're just a reliable tool that accompanies me with all the other tools I carry when I'm out here building fencing, building this campsite, planting crops and stuff in the future. Once we get going out here, these guns are simple and easy to use, and a lever gun is just simple and easy to use when you're on your farm, on your homestead, working the property. And I think a lot of other guys out there that own some land and work their land agree with me. I see a lot of you in the comments talking about how you carry lever guns and revolvers with you as well. So there's got to be a reason, right? There's got to be a reason why everyone who seems to have this kind of lifestyle shares the same kind of idea when it comes to what kind of guns they carry. It's for a reason. Grab one more sip of coffee here before we wrap things up. I appreciate you watching all the way through. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know what you thought in the comments, and let me know what you carry on your farm or your homestead if you've got one. Again, my name is Chad, and this is the Hopeful Homestead, and if you feel like sticking around, there's a video right here talking about why I choose to carry 45 Colt, why I love 45 Colt so much, as well as why I like 22 long rifle. So click on that, and I'll see you over there in the next video. Thank you, guys.